What's up, family? This is your man, not your boy. Go Black to Africa. I have a special guest or guests who moved away from America, went on over to Africa. She wind up finding her husband, and they got together, and they are building their kingdom, their fortress, what have you. And I know many people have seen the video, but I want to do an interview with them so that you all can see that it is possible to leave America or the UK or Canada and find a place for you and do what you was basically brought into this world to do, and that is to prosper and to be able to grow without a lot of red tape and bureaucracy that sometimes Western countries might hinder you and hold you back. So without further ado, I am going to bring in the Afro Millennial Mama and family. All right, so let me bring them in here. How are y'all doing?
Doing great.
Good. How are you?
Doing great, doing great. You know, when I started to watch you all's videos last year, and I really, try to stay up abreast of how you all's progress are doing. Y'all have a beautiful, beautiful story how y'all met. But please introduce you all selves to the guest out of the people out here, the chat and all.
My name is Amadou, originally from West Africa here in Senegal. We just get back home. And this is, what's your name?
Yasin,
How old are you?
6.
Just had a birthday.
Yes,
Okay,
Hi,
nice.
everybody. My name is Aisha, and I'm from Los Angeles, South LA, Inglewood, California.
Yeah. Okay. All right. You know what's so interesting? There's a lot of people from California moving to Africa, and
Wow. Yeah.
yeah, especially to the Gambia. It's just a lot of those going to
Yeah.
the Gambia. But please, I've watched your videos, and I had an opportunity to hear your story. Aisha, is it? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yep,
Yes.
Aisha. And please share with the folks, one, how did you find yourself over in Africa? Two, why did you, decide to? Because everybody got a story why they left their Western countries, what have you. But please share that with our folks out there.
Okay. Hey, everybody. The first time I came to Africa, I was in my late 20s. I was learning French, or trying to, and I wanted to go to a country where people look like me. I started traveling out of college, and I found it fascinating that the places I would go, I didn't have any idea that there were actually Black people there, and
Mhm.
or as many, Central South America, things like that. And so I said, okay, I wonder what Africa's like, and I was nervous about it, but I said, I'd rather go speak French in an African country than go to Europe and maybe not find my find my people. So I a friend of mine had put the word in my ear about Senegal. She went in college. I think I went to a Senegalese restaurant in New York once, and so that's when I started hearing the name, because before that I had never heard of it. And so yeah, I signed up for some volunteer program that would kind of be there for support, because I was traveling alone. No one really wanted to go with me at that time. And I ended up staying in a house in my husband's neighborhood. I was staying with a family to get the full experience of living with a family, eating with them. So I had a job, so I only could come for 3 weeks. And after the first week, we met
Yeah,
that weekend at a club,
yeah.
and
At a
yeah,
club.
yeah,
No, she was looking for me.
yeah,
She was looking, huh?
yeah.
Okay, so fast forward a little bit. So I mean, you all met, y'all dated, y'all, decided y'all was gonna tie the knot and all that right there.
Mhm.
How difficult is it to marry one that you're coming in as a foreigner, and was is it difficult in Senegal to get married, or is it a lot of red tape or things you got to?
Senegal, Senegal people get married every week. It's not really. I mean, people more focus on the family and religious aspect of marriage versus like civil. I think people do the civil, like legal marriage, but it's not a requirement or anything. But
Yeah.
but we ended up getting married in the States.
Oh,
Shortly after we met, he came less than a year, I think, and he
mhm.
came and we got married when he came over, and so that was a lot of work. The U.S. is like it's a lot to
Yeah.
do for that, but yeah,
So you
the
already had
90 days.
a passport. You already had a passport and everything to be able to get to America. Um,
He had a passport.
Yes, I had
yeah.
a passport. I already had
Getting that
experience
visa.
traveling, and I was living in Italy before the States for years, and
Hmm.
got back to Senegal in the state. I really didn't have not, I mean, a good experience or bad experience, but just because I was so attached to the country.
Yeah.
So mine is always the back of my mind, who always telling me like, you gotta go back, you gotta go back.
Hmm.
So yeah, it did happen, and I got back over here. And a few years later, we met. I didn't even think one day I would be in America again, traveling, and it did happen. But even though we were living there, but we were still having on the back of our mind, like how we're gonna make it happen to go and live over there. So that was the initial plan, even before all this happened.
I didn't think it was possible. I
Yeah.
didn't really. I didn't. I always said, I'm gonna retire in another country, but the closer and closer we got to planning it, I was like,
And always
I
like,
don't know.
I can't see myself living over there. I can't
No.
be, I can't.
Because the more I came to visit, the more I realized what the real culture is like. Like the touristy stuff fades away after a while, and
Yeah.
it's just family and culture and sharing.
Sharing, sharing, sharing.
And and so that part, the reality sinks in, and it's like, okay, we're different. And throughout our marriage, we realized, we were different, but we were living in my country, and so I was like, I don't know if I could be different and come live in your country. I feel like, without the as much diversity as a city like Los Angeles, I feel like I would be like lost in the shuffle or lonely or like not fit in, because at this point I'm already who I'm gonna be. I'm not a kid, so you
Yeah.
know the food I like, the things I like to do. It was I was starting to see that okay, I'm coming on vacation. I sit on the floor and eat, and certain things I can do. I said I don't know if I can do that for longer than a month, and
Mhm.
just be like everyone else.
Mhm.
It's fun when you try new things, but then when it becomes a matter of like lifestyle, it's like okay, how are we gonna blend our cultures over
Mhm.
there? Yeah.
Please share though. I mean, that's one of the big questions that sisters, even brothers who are going to Africa, who are looking at trying to find their mate, their king, their queen. What are some of the differences? I'd like to hear from both of you all. Being married to one African American sister, and as well as being married to an African. How is that for you? I mean, what's the differences that you might see from your experience of dating maybe your own local or kind, what have you, if there's a word.
Okay.
He taught me a lot of stuff. I had to learn. Go ahead.
Not that I have to learn, but I mean, you just have to face the reality because it's not about learning, it's just about accepting how this lifestyle is. If you're willing to do the same or try, I mean, not do exactly the same, but just enough that you can feel like it's normal. So it's the same way for me living in America. It's a lot of things that I didn't realize is not normal for them. I mean, for America, that is normal for here. For example, here you can just meet a little kid on the street, say hi to them, play with them, pick them up. You can do that in America. You do
Mhm.
that, it's like, what he's trying to do with these kids.
I had to stop him in the grocery store
You
and
know,
like
and
you can't look at the kids and like play with them. People here are not they're afraid sometimes. Yeah, like they
like
don't know.
your natural instinct, you start like blocking your natural instinct, who you really are living in America if you're from somewhere else. Because what I learned traveling or living other places is like Europe living style and American living style is exactly the same frame on the same basically guideline. But anywhere else we go in the world, basically people have like similar culture.
More free.
It's more freedom and it's more expressing yourself and more about who you really are.
Yeah.
For Europe living style and America living style, if you look at it, they really cross. They in same like they in the same guideline. So mhm.
Yeah. I
What
think
about for you?
yeah, I think that excuse me, every society has social norms, and I'm the type of person that I'm aware that there's things that I may do that people might look at differently and so forth. So I want to know, I want somebody to explain to me, okay, if it's a wedding, what do I do? Who do I give the money to? Or how do I dress? Is this appropriate? So I'm always in my head, and to the point where I kind of am shy with people. And here, people are very open and they talk, they say hi. I drive by the neighbors and they're like, hi, Aisha, and I don't even know all their names. And so it's a learning curve living here. But I would say even when we were in the States, there were a lot of challenges. I think sharing for me is still one of my things. I realized that, how I grew up, everyone has their own thing, their own clothes, their own shoes, their own jacket, and here, people will come and they say, oh, you have mascara, you have some shoes, you have something I can wear, and I'm like, I could buy you one, like,
Or
yeah.
can match with what I have
He
on.
he came to the States when he first came. I picked him up from the airport and he had one bag. I said, where's all your stuff? And he said, oh, I gave it away. And I'm like, why? Because I'm thinking kind of like hoarding, you build on what you have. You don't give away stuff, then you got to start over again from zero. So I'm like, your TV, what about the white pants that you wore at the club? And no, I gave it away. And we would come back to visit and it was the same thing. His suitcase would be empty after. And I'm like, I'm trying to do it myself because, I'm following the tradition and it feels good to give. But at the same time, I'm like, those were my shoes, though. I didn't plan to give them away.
Materialistic.
Yeah, and then you give it to somebody, and then you come back and like, where my stuff that I gave you? And they gave it to someone else. You're just like,
I
but
wanted it.
yeah. So it's there's some things that we have to communicate. I think a lot more. And we did have a language barrier. I was speaking French. We were speaking French the first few years of our marriage. So there's a learning curve with all of that. But there's a lot of talking that has to happen because not only are we different cultures, but we're different genders, and there's culture associated with that. And so, someone can say something in your language, but it sounds bad because in their language it sounds okay, but you're using the same word, but it just doesn't work for the other person. And so we had a lot of moments like that where in the beginning where we had to talk stuff out, like, okay, in my culture, you can't talk to someone when they're on the phone. Like, I'm on the phone. You can't. And when someone sleeps, you don't talk very loudly and wake them up.
And when in your own bedroom, nobody just come and walk in.
Yes, they just come. I was sick. Everybody was hanging out in my room while I was sick, and I didn't want anyone to see me. But he said that that's how people cheer you up when you're sick, so you don't get depressed. And but I was like, how am I gonna be sick in front of people hanging out? Like I didn't get it. I wanted to be by myself and and alone time is not a thing here. I have to. I'm social, but I also have my moments where I want to be alone and
Me time.
decompress. Yeah. And so
Yeah.
it's like, okay, we have visitors every day. We have to feed them. Is that a rule that we have to? I didn't budget. Remember back in LA, the orange juice or whatever?
Yes.
Oh man, I'm such a planner that I budget for everything. And I guess maybe because, my grandparents like were sharecroppers, and before that everybody's trying to save and build up, and so you don't see sharing as a, like, it might be a weakness in
Yeah.
some instances because you're people have taken advantage of our people. But I remember one time it was a Wednesday. I come home from work in the States. Work have you drained. I want to just watch TV and unwind. And people are there. And I'm like, it's a weekday. And there's Senegalese people, a community in Los Angeles. So people come over and he's offering them, he's Mr. Host. And so he's offering drinks and stuff. And that's the culture. And I'm like, I didn't buy enough for to give
Yeah.
away. What if I wanted
It's
something?
differences. Yeah.
And he's
It's
like, we can buy more. It's okay. I can go to the store. And I'm like,
yeah. So let me ask you this right here. So you have a new addition, which is your daughter, and
mm-hmm.
so how many years have she's been there in Senegal there in
A year and a half. She came. She was about to turn 5. She was
Mhm.
4, going on 5 when we came. She's come maybe 3 times before that. She go get an apple or something. Yeah, we're almost done. There's pretzels in there. We're talking to Mr. Go Black. Sorry. So she came twice when she was a baby because we wanted to come before you have to pay for the ticket when they turn 2 in the cabinet over there in the kitchen.
Mhm.
And then she came when she was what, 2.5? Yeah. She came 2 months, then she came a year and a half, and then at least 3 times. Because
Okay.
she came in 2020 and she came for about 6 weeks. And so we wanted her to we tell her that we used to tell her that going to Senegal was a treat, like a privilege. So if she didn't do what we wanted her to do, she wouldn't get to go. And so we built it up like that from the beginning. I didn't want her to have any kind of negative association with going back. And so then by the time we were planning to move, we built it up more. Like it was a whole excitement. We're gonna have a pool, and we're gonna have dogs, and you're gonna be able to see your cousins, and things like that, and your grandmother and things like that.
Yeah.
And so for her, the transition was seamless, perfect. There were moments where I was actually jealous of her, envious, because she made friends so fast, and I'm sitting here like, okay, I need to learn the language and socialize. And kids are just so free.
So
She
now
loves the languages. She thinks she's so smart. She corrects me all the time.
she's in school right now.
Yeah,
Okay, so she goes to school. They are teaching her. She knows French. She's
yeah.
learning.
You want some real quick? Daddy will get you something. You go get it. Real quick.
And so she's
Yes, you can answer the question first,
Yeah,
and
like,
after you answer the question, I will get what you need.
oh, check the basket on the island table. The pretzels are in there. Okay, so you're gonna speak some Francais.
so what grade are you in?
What's your class? Tell him your class. CE. Yeah, CE. I believe is that kindergarten? First grade. Okay.
It's first grade.
Yeah, CI.
Okay.
CE.
Okay.
And your say your thing in French, that your class and your teacher's name and all that. Can you do that before I give you the book? Now you want to do.
So she is adjusting. I mean, she's used to have the kids. She has friends.
Mm-hmm. What's your best friend's name? What did you say at school? The thing you say, mon ami, something. Mama Susana. That's your best friend. Mm-hmm. And what do you say in class? Au revoir, au revoir. Au revoir, les amis.
Mm, it's time. It's time to go.
Oh, that's the song they sing when it's time to go.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I
When
don't
we
want to hold her
always,
up. I know.
when we always go home, we do
Okay, so
well.
well, it seems like she's happy and she's there in Africa, adjusted to a new way of life. That's definitely
Yeah,
positive.
she goes to a local school, a local private school. Um, Originally, we were thinking of putting her in a school where they speak English, but that was more for my benefit than hers. And then when we talked about it, we looked at the schools. We realized that most of the schools have foreign kids there and that don't look like her. So, and because she is Senegalese, we feel strongly that she should integrate fully into the culture. And so she has expat friends, American expat friends, and French francophone expat friends as well. But there's a lot of people who their one of their parents is Senegalese and they live here. But so she'll see them on the weekends, like for play dates and things like that. And during the week, she's with local kids, and she transitions like English, French. Yeah.
Good, good, good,
Mhm.
good. That's great. So let me pull up my other I'm gonna share my video to show people exactly where you all are at, and we're gonna start getting the conversation of you all built a beautiful house. I
Thank
mean,
you.
and the work that y'all put in, and I've seen the frustration with the frustration of husband who
Mhm.
definitely was trying to keep that project going as well as yourself. And it's a beautiful house. But let me share where your location is so people can see, because we're also y'all into helping people buy land or something like that there? Yeah.
Definitely.
And so we let me share my screen here, and let's show your location, um as everyone can see. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna kind of zoom in where you all are in Senegal. As everybody start to see Senegal, Dakar is the capital of
Yes.
Senegal, and where you all are located is kind of like south.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna kind of get back into this area. My screen switched up on me, but let me get here. So you all are located in, let me just slowly bring this in, because if I can find this, I think it was further south. Let me know if I
Okay.
I think we went too far. We gotta go back.
too far south.
Yes.
Yeah,
You are almost in Gambia already.
yeah, okay. So let's see here. Am I still too far south?
You're about right now. Yeah.
Okay, let me
Just
kind of zoom
go.
out a little bit and then kind of zoom in. That's the residence. Um,
Just the Baba. No.
Let me zoom out of this
Laguna
again.
Beach, yes. We around it because you have Laguna Beach right there. No, you go back up. You go back up a
Go
little
back
bit.
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
See,
Mm-hmm.
we previously did this, but when I zoomed back into it, somehow it didn't bring me into where.
Just drop it.
Okay,
Uh, uh,
that is Laguna Beach.
Royal Restaurant.
No,
Yes,
that's Mbojin.
that's Moja.
Because Mbojin right there.
Go up a little bit.
Yeah, north from there.
Go up,
North. Okay,
up.
so
Silent. Yeah, that's Moja right here. You go back up.
hotel further up.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, wait till you see. So. Yeah, some more.
Some more. Some more. We go back.
Okay,
Okay, Safari right here. But
You can hold it
more.
in there.
Here we are.
there we go. I think that's it right there. So you all are in, because it's in Mbora, but
Yes. Yeah. A little bit north, but yeah,
a
you're
little bit north. Okay, I see it now. Okay,
right. There you go.
Yeah,
right
right
here, right
there.
here.
There you go. Right.
Right you
Exactly.
go.
That is
Right
where
there.
you all are located. So let me go ahead and zoom out a little so folks can kind of see Senegal. Um, Hopefully it's
Yeah.
right here. Come back. So basically, Senegal, Dakar is the capital, right? And Senegal surrounds the Gambia.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And we are sitting, when we zoom in, you are in Malakunda
Yes.
Yes.
here. And you say
Mhm.
about 15 minutes from the beach or what have you.
Yes.
Yes.
15 minutes from the beach.
Okay, okay. And so
Mhm.
so let's talk about that. You all built a house. I got a video here I'm kind of share too. But you all built a house there.
Wow.
Wow.
And y'all did a lot of work. Y'all got a pool, you got, the clubhouse and all that right there.
Mhm.
Um, how long did it take to build?
Uh,
We started in March, the
we
actual
started at
like
March
building.
last year.
Hmm.
Until we moved in 4 months ago,
October. Yeah, the beginning
October.
of October we moved in.
Yeah.
Y'all
Still
moved
work
in
to do,
okay,
but
or
yeah,
in
we
October.
moved in. Yeah.
Okay. Beautiful house. I'm telling you,
I remember when it was like that.
so it took y'all about a year to build?
No, 6 months,
Oh, about
7.
6 months. Okay, I misunderstood.
Yeah. But
I
we still
misunderstood.
been working on it. There's a lot of home improvement stuff that we're
Home
doing now,
improvement, yeah, that we
but
do.
Uh-huh.
to make it livable. But I would say we finished what, November. No, when my cousins came,
Yeah,
it was basically living and ready at
yeah,
that point.
yeah.
November of last year. Yeah, so March
That's
to November.
when we finished
The
the kitchen.
kitchen.
Yes, the
Okay,
kitchen.
so the infamous question.
Yeah.
What is the range? All right. We won't get specifics, as far as
Mhm.
personally, well, you all paid out of pocket, what have you. But I mean, what is the average, maybe two, three bedroom house somebody wanted to build? Because we do know that, when you build houses and you can go lavish, you can pay the expensive countertops and cabinets and the
Mhm.
metals and the irons and all that stuff. But I'm quite sure people are interested, and they've always asked you all probably, is that
Yeah.
how much could a house cost one there in that Senegal area or where you all are? A range of how much?
I mean,
He
I
said like three
can
bedroom.
I can say the 3 bedroom house, you can have it under 80K. Under 80K, maybe the max is 80. Just depend how you want to finish it.
The
At some
max is
point,
80.
the max is 80K. At some point you can finish it. Maybe if you just want a basic one, not that much stuff, expensive stuff, you can have it for like 60 to 65,
Mhm.
60K.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I when I was out there in Senegal, I went out and checked out land too, and it was out towards the airport.
Yes,
Um,
we're not far from the airport.
Yeah, we just like 15 to 20
20
minutes
minutes
from the
drive.
okay,
airport.
okay,
Yeah, 'cause the
okay.
airport used to be in Dakar, and it moved about 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So, and that was one of the reasons that we thought it would be a good area.
With the
Mhm.
third exit from the airport,
Mhm.
Gun's house.
Okay. How far are you from the airport?
15 to 20 minutes.
Mhm.
Okay, okay, okay. So this adventure of building a house, and I've watched people who's built houses in different countries, and I've seen the headaches. I've seen how, in each country in Africa is different, and everybody has their own way of building. But you all had that house built in 6 months, which is to me very quick. Do y'all have the issues with, you hear the stories of, you know, because of certain holidays or maybe death in families. These can slow up processes on your, or, sometimes workers want to work, a certain time or what have you. Was it a struggle for you all? Or, I mean, what was it?
Um,
How is the builders
yes,
and yeah.
The first 3 months
the first three
was
months,
was
everything
was
was
wonderful.
wonderful. Everything was going really smooth.
Hmm.
And the fourth month, that when I start seeing some changes, and right
Uh-huh.
away
After Ramadan.
after Ramadan, that everything like starts slowing down, and that's at that point that I realized I gotta
Yes, sir.
take over and
Yes, sir.
make stuff go faster and
Yeah.
Yes.
consistent, because otherwise, because that
Oh,
was the fear. Like we see a lot of people get it and have a lot of issues with that. So basically, you have a warning on that. So once you see the red light start coming on, you're like, okay, I gotta hit the gas pedal or I gotta change the tune,
mhm.
Hmm.
because I'm paying for it, so stuff should go the way that I want, or I just get another team, or I handle it myself. So
I
Okay.
think the I think the best part of this experience was the fact that we hired a contractor, even though things went south. I do think that it's great that he brought all of the tradespeople to us. So what I'm gonna do, what my husband did was, once he saw that people weren't showing up, they said they didn't get paid or things were happening. He got everyone's individual contact, and so he became the supervisor of the project,
Hmm.
even though we had a contractor. And so whenever there was a discrepancy, he would call the contractor. This person says they're not coming. Did you pay them? And so, he would call him on his stuff. So that helped a lot. And then basically he took over the whole bill, and a contractor is just like there. But
Okay.
that's the only way that you get stuff done without, people will try to cut corners, materials will go missing. We've had stuff stolen right in front of our nose. People will do a halfway job and tell you, because it's their profession, tell you this is the best that you can have, or
Hmm.
they don't have it available. But when he started going to the stores and the warehouses, he would say, "Well, I saw it in this warehouse, the color that we want." And it's, I think the masonry, there was no real way to say to for them to gain any money, um, by cutting corners. But when it comes to the tiles and the doors and the glass and the lights and everything like that, that's ways that when you give a contractor the money, they can budget it however they want and go for the cheapest sink, the cheapest toilets, the cheapest. So you have to be. That's when you really have to be involved, and that's when we started seeing, things go south. And half the things that I wanted, I didn't get. You know.
We did plan to design inside the house. It didn't happen exactly the same, you know. But the way we have it, it looks really good. It's nice. We like it, but it's not what we had in our mind initially.
Mhm.
So, but it's still we make it work. Whatever we got, at some point you couldn't because it's not like how they build in LA. You know, it's like wood and drywall and all that. So it's once something is already built solid, you gotta
Yeah.
break it all the way down to start it over, or you just gotta take it how it is and make it work your own way.
Because you can show up and they've already started something that the contractor said, and you know for a fact that you agreed to X, and they go behind your back and say, just do the basic, la la la.
Yeah.
Like you had to
So
tell him in front of the guy, like
yeah,
we all on the same page, and they
we all
still.
on the same page. Like he make the guy camp. The contractor was here. The guy supposed to build the closets were here, and I showed him picture. We all on the same page. After I left, he ordered him to do whatever he was easy and cheaper for the contractor.
Yeah.
So when stuff got delivery, I see different stuff. I'm like, what's going on? That's not what I ordered. That's what he paid me for. That's what the guy who was working on. It,
Yeah.
that's what he paid me for. Right.
I went through that here, when I had my
Mm.
barbershop built, when I had redid one of my duplexes, that even here, that you deal with these contractors that you gotta be the project manager. You're the one who's got to go through and make sure everything is done right. So yeah, so I can imagine it'd be frustrating, especially if you don't know the language and being that
Yeah.
y'all know the language, you had an advantage of being, kind of running the things. But please share with the people, because you bought your land, you had your house. Now you're into, showing other diasporans available land that's there. Share with us what y'all got going on with that.
Yeah, the available land. Actually, what happened is when we first purchased the land, she never saw the land until we get back almost a year
Later,
a year later after we start building. That's when she saw for
after
the
we
first
bought it.
time
Mhm.
the land when we started the foundation. So she just trusted me, and halfway trust, halfway like, I'm not sure, I'm not sure.
But you
But
said
I already,
the
yeah,
airport and the
because once I came to the location, actually was nothing over here except the
Mm,
freeway back. And it was like the exit of the freeway, it was like just 2 minutes drive. I'm like, it doesn't matter what happened in the future, but this point will be really strategic because you just drive 2 minutes, you get into the freeway, you go whatever you want to go. Coming
yeah,
back home, the same thing. Once you got off the freeway, it's 2 minute drive, you're at home. So, and actually, is the entrance of the city of Moore that a lot of people don't realize. Once I saw the map, I'm like, that's the best place we can get. because why is the best place? Because it's not occupied yet. You have the option to have enough land that you want to build
And
whatever
we
you
bought
want to
three
build.
plots.
We bought three plots and stick it together. And in the meantime, you can build your own community because in the beginning she was scared to move down here because she was like, I'm not gonna have friends. I'm not gonna talk to nobody. I don't speak the language. I just
Mm.
know words. I'm like, how about if we go back and I build you a community? Like, how are you gonna build me a community? I'm like, I can see an area where we can attract people like you so they can be surrounding us and we will be watching out each other
And
who will
that's
speak the
and
same language, who will have the same culture, even though I'm not saying that we're never going to change, but I accept you who you are. So I just gotta find people who match with you that you can live with. So,
and that's actually the people. Most of the people that contact us, just without us even saying anything,
yeah.
it's more people that are in the diaspora that are from Senegal
Mhm.
originally, or people who are married to Senegalese. So there's a lot of women that are married to Senegalese men that contact me, and then a lot of Senegalese men that live in the States, France, and Spain,
Yeah.
Germany, and they contact me,
In
and
Australia,
yeah,
we have contact people from Australia.
because they don't have maybe the family, like a trustworthy family member that they can send money to, or send them to go look for land on their behalf, and it's kind of like, I guess, if you have been abroad, it's a different mentality, that you've been exposed. So even him, as much as he's super Senegalese, there's things that change about you when you get exposed to different stuff. And so even for him, living maybe in his hometown, it might be a little more of an adjustment because, people see you walking the dog and you have a swimming pool, and maybe that's not how you were
That's
before.
not how you grow up.
Yeah.
You're not gonna have any neighbors who have swimming pools, so they just look at you like you're too bougie now. Or and it's not that you're too bougie or you have money. It's just what the sacrifice you have to do to have your family living here on
Yeah.
soil, African soil. So you gotta
So
put it in.
so now, because I know people are going to probably be reaching out to you all, and how much is a plot of land, and what's the
Uh,
dimensions
for
of the land?
for right now, the price start raising up a little bit because now people are more attracted to this area because have a lot of potential, lot available. But the price range at this point is between 6,000 to 7,500
US.
Mhm.
US dollar.
And
And
what
that's
size plot?
about 50.
It's like a 250 square meters and some for 300 square meters, but it's like normal
Mostly. I think it's about 27
27 to
2,700
2,800
square feet.
square feet.
2,700 square feet
Yeah.
I mean, you can
total.
build the one
Okay.
lot. You
Okay.
can build a three-bedroom house in that lot, but if you want
A
have
backyard
really
or
backyard, you need to
patio.
at least have two together.
Yeah.
So
What
that way,
size is then? Now, is your lot? Is that the house that we saw? Is that two lots right there that you have?
Three.
it's three,
That is three lots. Okay. All
three
right.
lots. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Okay, well, good. So for those who are listening and all that there who might be interested in wanting to maybe purchase land. Now, let me say this right here as a disclaimer. I can't vouch for our brothers and sisters, the Afro Millennial Mamas and them in their business, because y'all know a lot of drama's been going on,
Hmm.
land scams and stuff like
That's
that.
why
But
we never really said anything.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's
We
why we
never.
yeah,
never.
yeah,
Actually, the only people that we purchase land is people that you knew before, or
yeah,
people that you were really close to us since LA. So
yeah,
we purchase for them. There's already some people who contacted me wanted land that I put them directly with the owner of the land, and they had to deal between
yeah.
them. I will be just a witness,
Yeah, like
a
for the
witness for the
paperwork.
paperwork, whatever they
Okay,
have to do.
okay.
But I was doing it, but in some point I'm like, it's still risky to me because those people that I put in contact with, whoever on the land, they may take advantage of the situation, and everything will come back to me because I'm the only one who put those two people,
Yeah,
directly in contact. So from now on, all the people that purchasing land, I do my own, spend my own energy, go see the land personally, recording it, talking to whoever want to sell it, talking to whoever want who the buyer is, and be between and hold the money until the paperwork are signed and to hand you the money hand to hand. So that way to make sure I got the proper paperwork. So there's gonna be no
Or
issues
somebody wires money to
because somebody wires money to somebody and they're never gonna receive their paperwork and will be issues. It's like I know that person because the thing is here we too lay back that you can put two people together and thinking of like everything worked out and one day you're just gonna get knocked from your door like, hey, didn't work out. I sent him my money. He never since then he never answered his phone. So I thought about all that and most of the people who's want to purchase land, they're not here on the soil.
Yeah.
So the only point of common they have together is like because they see me on YouTube, they trust me. So I should at least do the sacrifice, make sure where their money going is safe
Yeah.
and they get the product that they need to get.
I've said before, if I think it is incumbent upon an individual to get there on the land, to see it, to feel
Yes.
it, and then do the business transactions. And for so whatever reasons, people, there are some of those that, you know, will send money and hopefully have land purchased, and hold on, I got some on my face. Okay.
Even I think everybody has come here, or the people that we know are personal
No,
like
the
friends.
only people who we know exactly since then, those come exactly on the lot and
Yeah, they've
see
been
it
here
and push.
physically.
But
Yeah.
they've
Okay.
been there after we purchased them the lot. But the new people, they never been here. So they just trust from what we show on the video, wanted a lot. Some of them will put
No,
them
I
in
told
contact.
her she came here.
So,
She was here in the house.
so after we purchased the lot, Melissa.
No, I'm talking about the lady from Haiti.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
She
yeah.
was here in the
She was
country,
here in
yeah.
the country. She
And
came
then
visit us twice, and after she liked the area, but the time that she was purchasing the lot, she was already back on the states,
right, but
and
she's
I purchased it for her, like
Okay.
mhm,
right next to our house, literally like 100 yards away from us.
mhm.
Now you mentioned that the area you're in is kind of is a tourist area over there on the beach area. Is that a lot of
Yes.
Europeans over there? That yeah,
Some
so
neighborhoods,
Yeah.
yeah. Some
mhm.
neighborhoods, yeah, but it's not like it's the majority though. But yes,
No, most of the mansions over there
I
is
mean the
them.
people that you're gonna
The
see,
hotels is them. The people you will see on the street, of course, is local people, but
right?
all the big houses, nice houses, luxury houses, all that belong to them.
But 10 minutes down the street,
No, from where we live, actually,
yeah,
not at all. Just local people.
yeah. So this area is local people. When you get to the beach, there's restaurants and casinos and tourists, and then
Restaurant,
yeah, that's
hotel,
yeah
bar.
in Sally. Sally is a very popular tourist area, but it's a small area, and then the further you go on the beach, there's local people still. I think it's more populated by local people than like Simone and those
Yeah,
places.
of course, it's more populated by local people, but basically all the houses is
The owners maybe.
the owners
Okay,
are.
yeah. Because I'm not trying to be around a lot of Europeans, me personally. I mean, if I'm going to do that, I might as well stay over in America. So, but in saying that, though, I mean, hey, you can pick various places where you want to build and be around more of the locals if you so choose to. I'm quite sure that is the case in many of
That
the
was
places.
actually the selling point for me because we were coming here on vacation, and the first time that I went to the tourist beach area, I was like, "Wow, okay, this is the westernized stuff that I would be more comfortable living here." And people have pools, and people, I'm not necessarily comfortable with. I don't really know too many people from France and Belgium and stuff like that. But the grocery store, the items, if I want to buy tofu, things like that, I can get it there
Yeah.
and dip
The
out.
one you can choose, you
Right.
can just go straight with the items that you need, pick them
Right.
and
So you
go
can
bang.
choose to
You
be
know, you can
around when you want to, and when you don't want to, you don't have to. So
Cool.
being 15 minutes away from there, here where we are, we don't see anybody from there really. And I think the even when we do, the difference for me, the feeling that I have, I feel more empowered and more like,
in
even though I'm
charge.
not Senegalese, I feel like this is my place. Like this is my town, this is my hood. Like
Yeah.
I'm in the restaurant, I can talk as loud as I want. I can say what I laugh as loud as I want. I don't feel that when I'm in LA, and that's my home city. Like if I go to Beverly Hills, Malibu and stuff, I feel like I have to
Like
kind of
guide
like
yourself.
dim myself to not
Mhm.
make people uncomfortable. And I never did it on purpose, but it's just something that I realized here. I play my hip hop, my Tupac, whatever, as loud as I want. I don't feel like I have to turn it down if I pass a police officer. So I think just feeling like because black people are in charge gives me that like it doesn't matter if there's European people around. And there's some nice European people,
Yeah.
but just because they're around, I don't have to change how I am. I don't
Yeah.
have to feel
To
feel less
adjust
free.
yourself.
And they actually have to adjust to me somewhat because
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah. So it's a nice empowering feeling to be able to walk somewhere with your head high. You go into the restaurant and they serve you, and and yeah, not feel like you don't belong. So
Great. We're going to open it up for those who are in the chat for some questions, and for those who wants to ask our brother and sister some questions. Go ahead and please put a question mark. Some like to put in the front of the sentence. So I like how they do that, so I can pick it up, or even you all can pick it up. Um, but most definitely, and share with the people here as we got about 14 minutes, I guess, to closing. But is there a large community African Americans? I know you mentioned about there's Senegalese, maybe women with American African American or UK, whoever. Is there a big large diaspora community there? So people,
there is.
Yes.
I wouldn't say it's as large as maybe your Ghana or Gambia, but it's definitely more than what I expected. Not because I didn't see anybody on YouTube. That was the reason that I decided to document what I was doing because I didn't see anybody else that was Anglophone. And so, that has attracted other people. So we went to, just the other day, we were at a concert. A Nigerian singer was here, and in the VIP, it was all African Americans there. And, so there's a lot, especially in Dakar. There's a lot. There's social media groups and WhatsApp groups. I think I'm in one WhatsApp group with like maybe almost 100 Black diaspora women,
well,
like Anglophone diaspora women. There's also diaspora Francophone people that are here as well. So I'm in a group with it's a mom group with maybe I think people that are born in France but their parents are Senegalese or they're
yeah,
born in they're from Cameroon or they're mixed Senegalese, and so all these people with their kids are here, but with the same kind of mindset and way of thinking that I may have, but just still proud of being a diasporan and building here and coming back from those Western countries. So yeah, definitely. I had my birthday party the other day. You would think I was in LA with all the people that was here.
that's great. Great.
So it's nice. I it's a blessing for me because I'm a very social person and I I love my culture, even though I can't live, as comfortably there in my country. But that's something that was important to me to be able to bring that with me here.
Are you a Senegalese, brother? Somebody's asking.
Ah, it just depends who's asking.
Yeah.
But for at this time, I am Senegalese.
All
Yes,
right.
I am.
Next question. How well does Senegal speak English, or is it mandatory to speak their native language?
I mean,
Nothing is
now
mandatory.
nothing is mandatory, but now you will see more people speaking English now. We're going toward that phase now.
English is in style. So a lot of the youth or the younger people like English. They like hip hop. They like, so at like
This
the
new
concert we went to
generation,
was in English. Everybody was singing it
I
and
was surprised, and
everybody was
everybody was speaking English. I'm
there
like,
was pop
are we
locking and
in
everything.
Dakar or are we somewhere in the
Yeah,
States that
you
I
wouldn't
didn't
even
realize?
know. Yeah, yeah.
Will
But
you open a bed and breakfast with a pool?
we have the studio.
Yes, yes. The answer is yes.
Also, you're looking at opening up a bed and breakfast.
Well, we have a
Oh,
studio
mhm.
that we built in the backyard. It was your wonderful idea because we wanted a 6 bedroom house for guests and stuff, but we only have 5 bedrooms in the house. That was all we could fit, and so we built on top of our pool house in the back. We have a studio that we can use for Airbnb. That's what we
Oh,
plan to do,
nice.
or just weekend rentals and stuff like that. Mhm.
All
And
right.
then you have access to the pool
Have access to the pool
and
also, and
and a
access
cook.
in the house and eat in the house too.
Yeah.
It's just basically when you want to feel comfortable or go to sleep, you can go in the studio.
Mhm. What is the dress code? There's no dress code.
There is no dress code. Come how you want.
Yeah. Would you recommend your builders? Not our contractor, but
No,
some of the builders, yes.
some of the builders, yes, but not a contractor.
You have to go a la carte.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at this point, I'm even building a team, a building team with the engineer and some of the
Architect.
workers, the architect, so
Oh,
we
that's
can,
great.
The ones that were
yeah,
reliable.
because
Because now,
all the stuff that really hurt me, that's what I try to avoid for other people and people who's coming in because I really know how it hurts when
Yeah.
you spend your money on
come back
something
to your
and you
country.
have a contract and also not only a contract but a word contract also, and they make you believe that's exactly what you ask, what we show you, that's what you have, what you want to get, and at some point you realize stuff are turning on the other side.
They ask, can I
Yeah.
cook?
And
Can I cook? I can make fidya. What's that?
can you
Front
cook
king. Yeah, I can make what is, I don't know how to say it in English. The fried fish
the fried fish
with
with
the
the onion
fries. Yeah.
sauce?
Mm-hmm.
So they're asking, will you build homes for people to buy? I mean, it sounds
Um,
like you're
yes,
getting into that
actually,
area. Yeah.
it was one of my idea, but at this point, no. But in the meantime, we can help people make sure they can have house who can fit on their lifestyle or a bit who can fit on their budget to push us the house already built.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Great. That's great.
Assist them with that.
Yeah. Let's see here. Any other questions that I'm going through here? See if we have any other questions here. Here's one right here. How do you occupy your day?
Ooh. It's busy, but it's free. It's nice because I could do what I want to do. For me, I wake up, I take my kid to school, I go work out for like an hour.
5 minutes drive to take a
Yeah, 5 minutes to take her to school, but I gotta get up, get her ready, feed her and everything, get her dressed. I put lock my dogs up because people usually come to work or something. I take her to school, and when I get back from school, right now, I go walking. There's a dirt road that's not that busy, so I go walking. I walk one of my dogs. Or if I don't have time, I'll do like yoga or something at home. At that time, we have somebody come clean and cook. So right now we have two young ladies who help us out because this dust and stuff is a lot. So they clean, mop upstairs, downstairs, do everything. And then at that time, I'm usually working on something, either corresponding with somebody via email or somebody who has reached out to me. I think I get contacted maybe twice a week, something like that.
Okay.
I read. I go pick my kid up from school. We eat lunch. I feed my dogs. I water the plants. I'm gardening in the backyard. Sometimes I go have lunch with somebody. I like going to the market and doing the grocery store type stuff takes longer. So I space everything out because things are slower. So I can't get stuff done as fast as I would want to. So sometimes I have to pay bills, or things like that, budget, whatever. Like whatever my personal stuff, that's what I do. But I usually have like a task that I have every day that I want to get done. And then the rest of it, if I don't finish, I push it to the next day because the days seem shorter.
Yes.
And we eat lunch at the house every day. So whatever you do, you have to do before lunch and then after lunch.
And we all
But for you, he's always calling people. His phone is always ringing. I'm sure people have called him right now. But it's because he's supervising everything. Even though now it's kind of mellowed out, but we still want our landscaping done. Certain things for the house that didn't work, like as we're living here, need to be changed. There's things that we were promised from the contractor that didn't go through.
Mhm.
So we are doing them ourselves. The contractor, he has to be on him because we paid him money, a certain amount of money. We didn't give him everything, but the amount that we gave, he still
Sure.
owes us some work.
Yeah. We still haven't had any of the ACs and the water heater,
Mm-hmm.
and we should receive seven ACs.
Mm-hmm.
No,
For all the
actually,
rooms, yeah.
for all the rooms, and
And the water heater.
and the water heater.
Those are big ticket items. But
Yeah.
now we're furnishing, which is another job because it's not like I can go to IKEA and just buy stuff. And if I do, they have stores, but it's cheap, it's not gonna last, and it's expensive. I mean, it's poor quality and it's expensive, which is crazy.
So most of the
So y'all, as far as Senegal, somebody's asking, would they recommend Senegal or the Gambia? I know that's a preference and all that there, but
Mhm.
what's your thoughts on the two?
We've been to Gambia
We've been to
twice.
Gambia twice already. We're just 3 hours away from Gambia,
I like it.
from here.
They speak
But
English.
they speak English, but in some point, if you want to do activities
Mhm.
or you want to have kind of like a little,
I
active
have friends
life,
that live there. Yeah.
it's better you come over here. But you're gonna meet a lot of people who speak English. You will be surprised.
Yeah.
You think it's a francophone country, but people will speak English.
Yeah.
Especially with this new generation.
Yeah, friends.
Everybody, we have a lot of friends who's actually they're Europeans, but they speak English.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, and that's the new thing.
Mhm.
How's the visa stay over there? How does that visa work over there?
The visa stay, if you from the States, you have 3 months to stay without any requirement. But over 3 months, once you purchase a land or you have a contract of what is called leasing a house or whatever, you have right to have a residency.
Residency.
So yeah, because it's a question that come often to us, and I had to call somebody who work on that field. Actually, that's the person who was taking care of a residency. So that's what she told me the other day.
Yeah,
Like,
because my
once you purchase a
situation is
land
different.
or you have a house, you have right to have residency. Once you have the proof, you can have a residency here and stay how long you want.
Okay, so that was the next
It
question
ain't
was, is it easy to get a permanent residency?
Yes, once you have a piece of property here or land, you have the right to have a residency. But if you don't have any residency, you can stay here legally 3 months, over 3 months. Can be.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and curtail the questioning right now because we're about reached our limit. But please, for those, share with those who might be on the fence of desiring to move to Senegal or even Africa, being that you all have the experience, you have the experience, Aisha, you have the experience there, and
Mm-hmm.
now a full-time, I guess, resident or what have you. You married a Senegalese. Um, please share with those out there who might be questioning, who might have the fear or doubt. What would you say to them?
I'll go first. I would say that what I tell people, because there are people who want to leave their country and the states more specifically, and I understand that fully, wholeheartedly. And I tell people, if you want to leave your country and you have reasons, that's great. But to decide where to go, you have to have separate reasons for that. You can't just want to leave and land anywhere because if you don't have reasons that you're in a place, when it gets difficult, there's nothing to sustain you and keep you focused and keep you positive. The times that I've struggled, I would say the first 6 months, I've been, not like depression, but I've been very, very lonely. There's moments where I'm sad. There's moments where I'm frustrated because I can't be independent like I used to be because I, depend on people to help me. So I think that what keeps me grounded and keeps me motivated and kept us pushing toward our goals was I had my reasons for living here. I want my kid to grow up in a place where she could be free and happy and run around, and I don't have to watch her all the time because there's neighbors and people, a community around. I wanted a place where I can afford to have other kids without, killing myself financially and stressing myself out with both of us working. I wanted to live in a place where if I was to be pregnant, I don't have to work necessarily, or and we can afford to not work for someone else. So there has to be reasons for why you're going where you're going. I think what I've seen, the people I've come across, there have been repats that have come here and gone to other countries after because because people don't speak they don't speak French yet, or maybe learning the language is difficult for them, or they didn't plan on certain things happening. But I think you have to be flexible in Africa, like without a doubt. You have to be open and flexible. You will not get everything you want the time you want it, like Amazon, just like this. So it teaches you a lot of patience, and people think, okay, patience, that's beautiful, but it's very, very hard if that's not something you're used to. And so it's a lot of growing pains. So you need something to hold on to keep you like, okay, I'm here for this. This is why I want to eat healthier. I lost 25 pounds since I've been here, and my blood pressure, yeah, without I used to go to the gym a lot, and I could never drop anything, and I wouldn't even see my kid because I get home from work in the gym and she's already asleep, and that wasn't the quality of life that I wanted. So the reasons I'm here, I want to have time to read books, I want to have time to self-educate and garden and cook and grow the things that I would like try to do on the weekend and rush, because you got to do your own laundry, you got to do your own dishes, you got to do. There's no community, family. So here we have time. We can eat home cooked meals and not have to always cook them. We can go. We can have healthy food. We can afford to have a pool guy. We can afford to take care of our dogs. Our dogs don't even eat dog food. They get cooked meals like real food, and so, I think that when people decide to move, they have to have, I say, write it down. This is why I'm going where I'm going. And there are people who come. I have friends that have come without visiting, and they're fine. I know 2 or 3 Americans that have come without visiting, and they're still here after 6 months, after a year.
And they like it,
Mhm.
enjoying it.
And they don't speak the language, but they make it work.
But they make it their own way.
Mhm.
So what do you
Mhm.
got to say there, hubby, as far as the words that you would share with somebody if they're thinking about moving or have fears or doubts?
For me, the first step is trying to come visit first,
Yeah.
because Gara is still trying to see if you can fit in this environment. To me, it's the base. Once you know that you can fit, some people that and trying to have some contacts, people, because here it's not like a westernized country, like you're independent of everything. It's not that you're going to be dependent on somebody, but just at least have some contacts who will give you the heads up or help you out with some situation. Because even me, who's from here, a lot of situation, I have to call out some people. Hey, look, I need this. How I can figure out this situation, and they guide me or put me in contact with somebody. That's how here works.
Not
It's
easy.
not everything that you gotta go through the internet and look out and find the result or the solution and call this place and like, okay, we'll see you in 10 minutes or whatever. It doesn't work like that here. So just have some contacts, be on the soil, see if you fit. If you fit, it's fine. If you don't fit, it's always a place where you can fit.
Yeah, in Africa you need people. There's even the repack community here and expat community here, we support each other with everything. We share plumbers, we share all the information, resources. I need a school for my kid. You can't live here without people. You have to ask. And it was at first kind of baffling because I would ask him, where can I go to buy certain kitchen items, and he's like, let me call my mom, because you have to ask how much stuff costs before you go to the market. And you have to ask. And so I'm like, dang, I can't do nothing by myself without like telling anybody. But so it's an adjustment. And I think that as long as, if you've traveled before to a couple of places and have been exposed to the actual culture there, then your mind will be a little more open than if you had not. Because I think some people just have a fantasy image,
Yeah.
and and that's not. These are people. There are people here. They're human here. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that your skin is the same color. They don't care about that. Nobody's gonna treat you bad because of your skin color, but nobody's gonna give you preferential treatment either. If
Right.
you don't know the price of something, they're gonna treat you like a idiot who doesn't know the price. Period. And it doesn't matter.
Like America, like
Yeah,
all the stuff that you send me or tell me the shit, and I like,
it's a
I,
scam. Yeah.
and I come home like believing what people tell me. Like, she's like, "Don't worry, baby, it's a scam." I'm like, "What does that mean?"
They're gonna make you buy knives to sell
But you
sell
know,
knives. Yeah.
well, I tell you all, I'm happy for you all, and you all are a beautiful couple, a beautiful family. And I'm gonna say to the people out here that's please go subscribe to their channel. You know, they're updating, different videos. You can follow through their whole path of, building their house. They are now also connecting those diasporans with land, and they're saying that they could that you can at least have somebody that you could trust and someone who actually knows how it goes. That's so important, and that's one thing that I try to do in my referrals is to referring people over to trustworthy people. And so they are there in Senegal, right there in Senegal, family, that if you have a desire to want to go visit, if you want to go just on a tourist, whatever, they got a bed and breakfast there, a business that they're creating, and can point you in directions of land. But most importantly, I like what you said, Aisha, and that is that you have a peace of mind now, leaving America, going to Africa, where you have the time now, not just to be inundated with just work, 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 but you can enjoy life now, spend with the family. You don't have to be, just bombarded with so much. And so I thank you all for coming on to the show. Wish you all well. And with that, family, this is your man, not your boy. Go back to Africa.
Africa.
Thanks for having us.
Y'all hold tight real quick while I end this broadcast real here.